What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. We've got a new whistleblower, and we're finding out more and more information on just how a 20-something-year-old literal shut-in with no political affiliations and, various encrypted apps and this, that, and the other thing was able to single-handedly defeat local law enforcement, Secret Service, and Department of Homeland Security on one fateful day in Butler, Pennsylvania. And where the world was literally 1 centimeter away from a Gallagher type performance, watching a watermelon, turn into many smaller pieces of watermelon on live television. There's a new whistleblower now that claims that they were woefully underprepared. I think pretty much everyone knew that. But the real question is, how do we take this? People are wondering, well, there are many people out there that believe that this was simply let to happen, that you don't see some dork walking around with a rangefinder and just let them chill. Some people believe it was let to happen. Some believe that it was made to happen. And I'm right here. I'm going to stay reporting on it. So let's go to this new whistleblower and what they had to say with Jesse Waters. Also, by the way, today's the day. Going for 10,000 followers on Tailgates for Trump. It's linked in the description below. We're going to make getting Trump elected in November fun. We're going to have parties, all sorts of stuff. So sign up, follow us on X or Truth Social, and then get your email address in here. We've got something like 3,500 people signed up to host or attend parties already. Get your real email address in, click join the movement, then check your email and confirm that you got it. So, here we go. Senator Josh Hawley on the Trump attempt on Trump's life. Most of the agents who were there at the rally were not, in fact, Secret Service agents. In fact, Homeland Security agents, most of those Homeland Security agents were the only training that they had received was an online webinar. An online webinar was all the training they had to protect Donald Trump's life. The former and current most important political candidate in the United States. Even if you disagree, you could say at least they're tied with Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. You should be protecting them far more than a simple webinar. Listen to this.
What I've heard tonight, Jesse, is that most of the agents who were there at that rally in Butler were not Secret Service agents. They were, in fact, Homeland Security agents. And get this. Most of those Homeland Security agents, the only training that they received was an online webinar, a 2-hour online webinar. And I'm told that about half the time, the sound to the webinar didn't even work.
I mean, you're probably thinking like, this can't be real. This can't possibly be real. This is like a cartoon. I assure you, this is a real report and a real video. I mean, the fact that the online webinar that they've had these people attend didn't even work is maybe the most pathetic. I want to say hilarious, but it feels so bad to say it's funny because it's not funny. It's like, let's find a situation where we can put the least trained people around the most important political individual on the planet. And then maybe something will happen. Maybe something. I mean, I think that you would be welcome. I think that I would understand why people might feel that way.
So think about this. The president of the United States, former president of the United States, Donald Trump, is sent out on stage. Most of the people there aren't trained. They're not qualified. They only got a webinar training, and even that didn't work. It is absolutely outrageous.
You're saying, and if we're to believe that.
If we go to some of the articles here, most agents guarding Trump during the attempt on his life were Homeland Security personnel who took a 2-hour webinar. It's like, hey, what's the absolute bare minimum we can do so that we can CYA, cover your rear end kind of thing, CYRE, that, we tried to do the best we could. Senator Josh Hawley says he's been informed by whistleblowers that most of the agents assigned to protect Donald Trump during the attempt on his life in Butler, PA, were Homeland Security personnel who had minimal protective training. Instead of having dozens of Secret Service agents on his detail for the July 13th rally, Trump was mostly guarded by Homeland Security agents who had, which by the way, I don't know, Homeland Security agents may be very well trained. They may be as well trained as anyone else. That part isn't an immediate like red flag to me. The fact that the only training they had gotten was a 2-hour webinar in which one half of it didn't even work, that's a little more concerning. A 2-hour online webinar, and I'm told that half the time the sound of the webinar didn't even work. So think about this. The former president of the United States is sent out on stage. Most of the people there are not trained, not qualified. They only got a webinar training that didn't even work. It's absolutely outrageous. The Homeland Security agents were supposedly pulled off looking for missing kids and other investigations to serve on Trump's protective detail. So they weren't even like trained in protective detail or that kind of stuff. They were probably doing good work, looking for missing kids, this, that, and the other thing. But I think that's very different than protecting a high-value target from Lee Tardy Oswald. Hawley also called out the Secret Service and the FBI for not sharing more information about the rally where Trump narrowly avoided the attempt on his life. The only reason we have the information we do have is because of whistleblowers, he told Waters. Representative Clay Higgins, Republican from Louisiana, recently revealed that the Butler SWAT team is actually the ones that neutralized or that got the first fires off that damaged his rifle and halted the spree before the Secret Service finally jumped into action. So why would they aim for his rifle? That seems like they missed it. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just go for the headshot? But anyway, when acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe Jr. testified before Congress about the incident in July, he did not mention the local SWAT team's action. This is wild. Every one of those agents should do a little self-reflection, ask themselves, why me? As in, why was I, with absolutely no experience, asked to be on this detail? Then they should ask themselves how expendable their bosses really think they are, because clearly they were used as potential cannon fodder. Other replies go on to say, there are a lot of people that each of us know, friends, family, neighbors, etc., that are liberal and low-key upset that they missed. Most won't say it out loud, but this is what they're dealing with on the left. It seems that moving from gross negligence to intentional, meaning they created so many holes in the levee that they knew they had a very good chance of breaking. Will anyone ever be held accountable? No, of course not. Of course not. Imagine 1,000. Here's look at the video was pre-recorded, by the way. So we have more information about the actual video that they watched, okay? The videos were pre-recorded with whistleblowers allegedly saying that the videos were riddled with technical mishaps. Imagine 1,000 people logging onto Microsoft Teams at the same time after being informed at the last minute that everyone needed to log on individually. One whistleblower told Hawley. Once it got rolling, the Secret Service instructor couldn't even figure out how to get the audio working. On the pre-recorded video, which I'm told were the same videos as the previous year, all told they restarted the videos approximately 6 times, and the content itself was not even helpful. The Secret Service responded in a statement saying that it respects the role of oversight. To date, we have had over 1,500 pages of responsive documentation to Congress and have made employees available for transcribed interviews. These efforts will continue as our desire to learn from this failure and ensure that it never happens again. Yeah, in my opinion, what do you think they're calling a failure? Do you think they're calling the failure the fact that the kid, defeated their perimeter? Or do you think maybe they're calling the failure the fact that he missed? I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't have any answers. I'm just, it's to me, it seems at least plausible that they feel the failure was in fact him missing. Nothing new, nothing improved since the attempt on former President Trump. One whistleblower also told Hawley. So they've changed nothing about how they protect people. Other HSI agents who worked on that fateful July 13th rally in Butler, PA, told Hawley's office that they'd only received one PowerPoint presentation for training. The Missouri senator blasted the government agency for this nightmare handling the attempt that rocked the nation. This is a nightmare. The only reason we know about this stuff is because of whistleblowers. The allegations surrounding HSI's agents lack in training and preparation comes after Hawley's office continued to communicate with whistleblowers about the Trump rally incident and what went wrong in order for the assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks to begin access to the AGR building rooftop and that evening. When, by the way, there's also a video yesterday that we saw where at least one of these agents looked down their scope at the individual, then never fired and waited for them to fire and then before returning fire. So I don't know what they were looking at. We don't know, but a lot of people are pointing at that and saying, this is pretty suspicious. Hawley's office previously claimed that the lead site agent, known to be inexperienced and incompetent, the lead agent was known to the Trump campaign to be inexperienced, to be ineffectual, and to frankly be incompetent at their job. Hawley previously said in an interview on Jesse Watters Primetime, I'm also told by whistleblowers that on that day, she was not even enforcing the normal security protocols. She wasn't checking people's IDs. She did not use the Secret Service agents. Hawley added, most of the agents there that day were not even Secret Service. They were Homeland Security agents. I mean, absolutely incredible. And the fact that the only way we're finding this out is because of whistleblowers. Meanwhile, Trump remains up 5 in Polymarket, and down in the general election polls. Make sure you stay with this channel. Make sure you follow Tailgates for Trump. Make sure you go to tailgatesfortrump.com and sign up. I will keep you up to date here on this channel. Make sure you follow or subscribe down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.